North Central's baseball team has the best overall record amongst CCIW teams. Softball's rattled off 7 straight victories, and the men's outdoor track and field rankings are out, and the indoor national champions are not in the top 5. All this and much more as the Cardinal Report rolls on. The North Central baseball team opened up CCIW play, taking its first conference series 2-1 over North Park. Joining me today is the coach of the Cardinals, John Fitzgerald. Coach, the team had a 7-1 record after the trip to Florida. Now the team's at 15-3. It seemed like, after the trip from Florida, some of the players were like, pretty surprised at the 7-1 start. Now, after taking the first CCIW conference series, it seems like the confidence is really starting to build with this group.
When we win 11 games last year, who can blame them, really? It's been a nice start. I think it's contagious. Winning's contagious, just like anything else. And we did get off to a nice start. We actually opened the season against Franklin College, a ball club that won 30 games, with a doubleheader sweep down in Cincinnati early in the season, early March. Following weekend, we opened down in Florida, and we knocked off Luther. We actually split a doubleheader with them. Probably should have taken 2, lost the first game 3-2, and then won the second one pretty convincingly, and that kind of got us on our winning streak. Luther's a ball club that went to the regionals last year. So we've beaten good opponents, obviously stringing wins together when you play the game of baseball, day in, day out. Doubleheaders are tough to sweep. We've been able to do that, and I think without a doubt, confidence builds with that a little bit, and I think we're kind of seeing some of that benefit right now.
Yeah, Coach, and last year you pointed to yourself. You said you really didn't help out the team much because you were scheduling such strong out-of-conference games. Has the schedule this year been just as strong as previous seasons?
It's hard to say. To be honest with you, I would argue it probably has been, though, playing Franklin and playing Luther twice to open the season. Obviously, starting with conference play, that's always going to be tough. We had Carroll College and Superior in for a 4-game series last weekend. It's tough to say. The difference is we're a little bit older and we're better. I think it was very difficult for our guys to go down to Atlanta last year. We did play a very difficult schedule. I don't think I did do them any benefit early on, but we were young. And that for your baptism for college baseball, I think was asking a lot of our guys. They've been through that. Our hope when I took over 3 years ago was going to be we are going to play as tough a competition as we possibly can. Learn from that, and that's going to make us better because our conference is that good. So far it's worked, I guess I could say. I don't know if it was genius or not, but so far it's worked. I think they learned from that. I think we struggled last year on the mound, and our guys came back in the fall better, a little bit more veteran and ready to pitch, and I think that's shown through so far this spring.
Well, Coach, you open up with North Park CCIW play. You get a 13-5 win. That's Mike Kloss, the starter for the Cardinals, going against Mike Giovenco, who's one of the better pitchers in the CCIW. Cardinals got 8 runs off Giovenco. The bat's just really alive this year.
They are. We're going to hit with everybody. I don't see that being an issue whatsoever this year. We're going to stay in ball games because our offense is going to be able to swing the bats, and we've proven that so far, and I think that's going to be our strength down the line. The difference this year is obviously we've pitched the ball pretty well and we picked it up well. Sure. And it's an easy game when you throw the ball, hit the ball, and catch the ball.
Game number 2 against North Park was a 20-13 loss, kind of a marathon game. Game number 3, 11-1 victory. And let's start off with Cardinals. They had 14 hits. Vikings, they had 7, but they only scored 1 run. A lot of timely defense in that game against North Park, game number 3 at Zimmerman Stadium.
There was good defense. That was big on a couple of different issues. We played on Friday at North Park, which is obviously a bit of a smaller ballpark. We were able to hit Giovenco. Second game, we had 30, 35-mile-an-hour winds blowing out. Every ball seemed to kind of leave the yard that was up in the air. So now we leave that day. It was a long day, obviously. You said a marathon with a split. Our goal is to win every series. We come back the next day, and it started with our starting pitching. Nate Aronson goes out there and shuts down a very good offensive ball club. We score some runs early. Wolbecker had a home run early on in that ball game, and that was it. Our defense was strong, which for the most part it has been all year, but when Nate can go out there and win a series for you like that and really shut down a good offensive ball club, you win 2 out of 3.
Yeah, you talk about Wahlbecker in the bottom of the second inning. North Central, they were up 1-0. Joe Turk, he was on third base. Matt Burke was on second base. He just unloaded on that pitch, took it over the left center field wall. He had a great day, did Wahlbecker, just mashing the ball all over the place.
He did. And the funny thing is, when you look at our lineup, which has been good all year, when our 2, 3, 4, and 5 hitters go combined 0 for 14, and we still win 11-1, I like our chances from an offensive standpoint. And that hasn't been the case all year. But guys, we're deep enough, and I think we're talented enough offensively that when the middle of our order does have a down day, we're going to be all right because other guys are going to pick up the slack.
Coach, I believe the score was 7-1 entering the bottom of the seventh. And you're able to bring off a guy in senior, Steve Lavigne, off the bench. And he starts off the bottom of the seventh, roping a stand-up double into, I think it was right center field. But just talk about the depth there where you can bring Lavigne off the bench.
Yeah, Steve was a little banged up after football. Really wasn't sure he was going to play baseball this year. Actually joined us in early February. Made the decision to come back out. And Brennan Hagensee has done a great job with the bat for us. And kind of won that job when he transferred in. So when you have a talent of Steve who you're able to bring off the bench or start occasionally, which has been the case for us so far this year, we're going in the right direction. I mean, we have a lot more options. That makes us a lot more dangerous, I think.
Yeah. Cards score 4 more runs, win the game 11-1. The Bats were alive in the final game versus North Park. We got reactions from the game in this week's What's the Word?
At the beginning of the season, our lineup was so potent, and we were just here to mash. So you know what? We were just looking to drive, and we get balls up in the wind, and we also hit them really hard. We have every 1 through 9 they're a threat. So I mean, with everybody hitting like the way they are, we're going to be hard to stop. So
they're hitting. If you look at their averages, and they're just hitting the ball right now and placing it and getting them in when they have the opportunity. They just hit. They make contact and make us make the plays. And we just got the taste. The new guys got the taste. I've been here, so we know what it's about now. North Central, they're a great team.
Lineups 1 through 9, I think every position's better than they were last year. I think they'll go as long as their starting pitching can carry them. We get into their bullpen yesterday. We took advantage of it. And today, if the starter was effective. The CCIW is one of the best conferences in the nation right now, and I think both of our teams will be in a fight for it till the end. Hopefully we can get another shot at these guys in the conference tournament.
There's not much difference. We're just really excited to get out because I think a lot of people are going to overlook us this year. But now that they know that we're here to stay and contend, I think they're going to, give us a second look and really bear down when they come to play us.
Coach, you heard the guys talking over at North Park and for the Cardinals just about the depth of this offensive lineup. We've harped on it enough, but when you got guys like Wahlbecker and Turk batting 6th and 8th in the lineup, got to put a smile on your face.
It does. I mean, like I said, that's going to be our strength all year long. I would rank our offensive lineup up against anybody's in the league, probably the region, to be honest with you. I think yesterday, it was the first time we didn't score in double digits in league play, and we still came away with a win. It makes you know full well going into a ball game that you've got a chance to be in every game because you're going to score runs, and that makes a big difference, I think, confidence-wise for everybody. Guy on the mound, defense. And you're never out of a ball game because you can swing the bat, and you're always kind of a big inning away from getting back in a ball game.
We were talking about the offense ranking nationally or regionally. In the CCIW, the Cardinal offense is number 1 with a .353 batting average. The Cardinal pitching staff is number 1 in the CCIW with a 3.63 ERA. Number 3 in fielding, only 24 errors. The Cardinals have the least amount of errors than any other team in the CCIW right now. It's kind of surprising when you look at the season last year.
And our ERA was infinity last year, I think, too. So, our guys have bought into it. I mean, we are a little bit older, we're more talented, but we can only kind of do so much. I mean, we tinkered defensively with our lineup a little bit, moved some guys over that we thought would strengthen our lineup defensively. I think our pitchers have bought into kind of the program we went with. But at the end of the day, these guys all kind of believe. They're all determined. They all worked hard over the offseason. And that's really where the difference is. I mean, they go out and compete for us. That's all we can ask for.
It's like you said, you can only do so much. And when you look at some of the leadership on this team, you got a senior, Nick Robinson. He's one of those defensive changes you were talking about. He moved from third base to shortstop. And then Mike Kloss on the mound, another senior. He's amongst a lot of the Cardinal all-time categories.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to leave here with a very nice career from a numbers standpoint. And his growth since I've been here has been spectacular. Yeah, I think he had a good freshman year. His sophomore year was a little bit down my first year. The last 2 years, he's just been our go-to guy. He's been very good. And, you know, you can go up and down the board with some of the seniors we have. Nick, obviously, you know, has really moved into our leadoff spot. Made the move to shortstop after 3 years at third base, which I don't think is an easy thing to do, but that shows you a little bit about his character. I mean, Andrew Wolbecker's a senior, even though he transferred in, but I mean, for the last 2 years, he's been a mainstay at first base for us. You have Ricky Foytek at the end of our bullpen. Our senior leadership up and down has been very good. And, you know, it's allowed us to gel a little bit too, I think.
It's certainly shown this season so far. Well, stay tuned as starting pitcher Nate Aronson and right fielder Matt Abraham join us to talk about all things Cardinal baseball. We'll be right back.